Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Hey, welcome back everyone. Carlo here with finally another figure that I bought. Not a new one, but an oldie, but one I've been looking for a year and a half now. The 1/6 scale Apollo Astronaut 2011 version. So basically 2011 version. This thing came out in May of 2011, and like I said, I've been looking for it for a year and a half now, and this thing is very hard to find. I was walking in a comic shop one day, and I was just looking behind boxes, and this thing was I found this thing in a corner behind a bunch of other boxes. I'm like, holy shit. Yeah. So I said, I gotta buy this right now. So when it first came out, it retailed for $150 US, and I got it for just a little over that. There he is right there. Pretty cool. Not many astronaut figures out there. There are those, I think it was 3A guys, the dead astronauts, cosmonauts. Those things run about $300. So there you go. Of course, based on the moon landing. There's the box. Nothing much to it. But yeah, I'm glad I ran into this thing. Just serendipity, you know? So there you have it. He's out of the box and ready to go. I'm gonna suit him up, but before I get to the figure, I'll get to his accessories that come with him. So first off are his astronaut boots. Very lightweight, but hard plastic. Shouldn't be, might be a problem sticking it on the figure, but I'll figure that out later. Comes with this handheld, old school film camera. 1960s, 50s, and 60s. Nothing to it, just a plastic piece. Got his, I don't know, forgive me, I don't know any space terminology, so this thing goes on his front, according to the picture anyway. That piece right there. It's just gray plastic inside with a little bit of molding here and there. Straps. These buckles are not exactly buckles. They're just, what do you call it? What are these things called? You know, they're like pants where the two metal slips go into each other. So that's good. No snap buttons or whatever. Here's his enormous backpack. The American flag, NASA. Well, it's kind of hard to see, but it's kind of legible. There's some letters you could read, but not really well. Mostly gibberish, I guess. You can see Celsius and temperature gauges and all that, but yeah. So again, just clear plastic, very lightweight, hollow. These things are just fastened together with snap buttons. Very, very tiny snap buttons. Got the hoses. Yeah, so that's the backpack. And then you got this two-piece, I guess the mid helmet, the guard, the shield. They snap together. They don't stay together, but they do snap together. Ew. Little rubber glue thingy. Here's this little beanie cap. The ones they wear underneath the helmet. With this little comm unit on the side there. And this strap is going to be, it's going to be a tough one to lead through that little buckle there. And of course you have the final piece, the actual visor. So you got an inner visor here, inner clear visor. You got an outer sun shield, I believe this is, or whatnot. And then on the sides here you got these blinders, I guess. I'll have to look up to see what they're all used for. And my cat just jumped up on the camera. Held in by Velcro. Nothing to it. Nice and white. I've heard that over time, if you keep the figure out in the open, the white will yellow. But I'll try to make sure it doesn't. So here's the figure itself. Now likeness, Let's see if I can focus in. The likeness is supposedly Neil Armstrong, the first man on the moon. So I'm going to get a comparison photo. So there's real Neil, and there's figure Neil. Yeah, I guess it's pretty close. Not exact, but not too bad either. I was going to turn the phone to get a profile. That's not going to work. Not Buzz Aldrin. And the third guy, unfortunately, I don't know his name. But let's get to the detail on the suit. It is nicely detailed. So you got all the hose connections here. The patches NASA Apollo 11 on your right. More little snap buttons. It's kind of padded. His boots. He's already got white boots on. Let's pop those off. If I can, oh, guess not, I won't try. Wait, am I supposed to put the big boots over the little boots? It doesn't seem like it. That's gonna be a, yeah, I don't think so. I think I'm gonna have to take off these little boots anyway. But, I'll do that later. Got more of these little information patches. American flag. He is wearing a white undershirt underneath. Right there. His pockets, let's see his pocket, yep. He's got pockets that have Velcro so you can stick stuff in there. What's on the back? Just the gray thingy there. His arms, they're folded up. Yeah, I guess that's part of his glove. Let's see if I can pop his glove off. Oh, yeah, so there you go. Whoa, let's take it easy. There you go. So fully articulated. No need to go into detail on how. Let's see how his head is attached. So, not your regular true type figure. Get it back in there. There we go. So his head, full range of motion, up, down, left, right, 360, Exorcist. You know, elbow joint, wrist joint, shoulder joint, it goes all the way around. But you don't, range is limited because of his clothing, of the suit. You got abdominal movement, hip flexing, his upper thigh, his knee. His knee does not twist around, just his foot, his ankle area. But how much articulation do you really need for an astronaut when he's usually just bouncing around? These are all plastic. These hoses, these connectors are all plastic, including the ring. I thought this was metal at first, but it is plastic. So painted nicely though. It's got that glossy sheen to it. See, metallic paint. All the pieces. So yeah, all in all, this is a cool figure. Like I said, astronaut figures are hard to come by. So I'm glad I found this guy. There, see, you can see some discoloring on his ass right there. Well, maybe not in the camera, but it's a little discolored there. I'm finally done. So here you go. Here's the Finnish astronaut guy, Neil Armstrong. Highly unlikely. This is a Chinese company. Highly unlikely they got the rights for his likeness. That's why you don't find it online anywhere anymore. So, but in the end, this is a cool ass figure. Still very modern looking because modern astronauts, the design haven't changed much. When are we going to see those futuristic suits? You know. Anyway. There were no instructions that came with this thing, so I had to wing it. Basically, everything I did here was based on the photo on the box here. So this little front pack here had 2 leads going this way, which I just hooked onto the backpack there, one on each side. And then there's 2 leads going this way, so one connected to the bottom of the backpack there, and the other one on the other side. And then one more lead or hose or whatever that was open-ended. There was no buckle or anything on the other side. So I found a hole in the side of the backpack, which I just slipped it right in there. Yeah, right there. So then the hoses coming out of the backpack, luckily those were easy. Just snap them in. But just be careful. If you do find this figure and you want to do it together, be careful because the front connecting spots are very loose. So it looks like you could easily rip right through the fabric there. So that was time consuming, especially getting the little buckles through the loops. Nothing else much. Oh, at the beginning of the time lapse you saw me struggle to put these damn boots on. These big boots you put on top of the little boots that he has on already. And as you can see, they're loose. So trying to get him to stand without helping, like a display stand, well, right now it's easy, but he tips over really easily because it's so loose. And I may have cracked a little bit of the plastic of the figure itself, but luckily it didn't break apart. So that was a bitch to put on those outer boots. One thing I forgot to mention, the gloves, the hands, they are not bendy fingers. They're molded the way they are. So you can't even, like, what's the point of having this camera? Right? It's going to sit loose on him. Well, it's not like you're going to have him holding it anyway. Now the helmet. Okay, the inner helmet. Okay, it slips into that red ring that you saw earlier, but it doesn't stay really. So it's kind of loose inside. But it won't matter once you put the outer helmet visor on. His little, what do you call it, his little beanie with the comm unit, that was easy to put on, but the little, to lead the strap through the buckle is a little tough. Need tweezers. And the outer helmet, as you can see, is very, very loose. It doesn't connect anywhere. All you gotta do is put it on top of the inner helmet and then just Velcro it around. See? That's all that is. So despite those little thingies, those little flaws, this thing, the end product is pretty damn badass. It's too bad we won't have any lunar missions in the near future. You know, we'll have robots and satellites. You know, Mars Curiosity rover. Hey, gives me an idea. They'll send robots and androids or whatever. Well, not androids, but robots down, as they do with Mars right now. So I guess. Too bad it's not in proportion with each other in scale. That'd be cool. The rover would probably be 3 times the size it is now and about half the size of the astronaut there, so. Yeah. So, highly recommended. This is a cool figure, cool display figure, that's for sure. Despite the difficulty of putting the stupid hoses on and the backpack on. And there's nothing else much to it. But, yeah, so, Neil Armstrong, rest in peace. First man on the moon. One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. Why is he tipping over into it?